right, so we're going to discuss Diecast again?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Jeff.
And I'm John.
And we are back for the second segment from AwesomeDiecast.com of discussing Diecast with Jeff
and John.
All right. Last week was our first time doing this, and we're kind of getting a feel for what people like. We are trying to highlight some of the new arrivals that come in every week, and we get in anywhere from 10 to 100 new items every week. So sometimes some of the cooler pieces might get lost in the shuffle, and the whole idea of what we're doing here is to kind of focus in on pieces that we really like as diecast lovers ourselves. So without any further delay, why don't we get started, and I'll give it over to John, and let's see what you like.
Well, there was a few pieces, Jeff, that came in. I particularly liked this piece here. This was...
That's my best imitation of what that would sound like. Is that good?
That is a good sound effect for that particular vehicle.
Yeah.
Now, this is a 143 scale vehicle made by Norev.
And for those of you out there who don't know this, Norev is a French diecast company that is owned by the Veyron brothers, and Veyron spelled backwards is...
Norev.
Wow, you are just... It's uncanny, the intelligence. Okay. I thought it was the accent that made you smart, but you really are smart.
I am, although people do love the English accent.
Uh-huh.
But this particular model...
He's available, ladies.
This particular vehicle was produced by Michelin themselves in 2002, and they were very proud of the fact that they were the sponsors of the tyres on the actual space shuttle itself.
It's interesting that it's an American space vehicle, and yet they're using French tires. Like, is Goodyear and Firestone not good enough for the American government, or what's that all about, you know?
I don't know. Maybe it's to do that it's got the little Michelin man there, and they like the fact that he could hold it up rather than, what would you have for Firestone or Goodyear?
Oh, I see. Didn't you have lunch with the Michelin man?
Yes, I did. I did have
You guys
one.
are like this, I think,
Oh,
right?
we're like, we're like brothers from another mother.
You know, you do look the same. I see the resemblance.
Yes, like I said, we...
A heck of a lunch.
Oh, it was.
So this is in 143 scale?
That's 143 scale.
And how much is this one?
This one is $49.95, which I think is very good value for a unique piece like this.
Okay, I think what's interesting is that this vehicle actually did exist, and it is currently in the Michelin Museum in Clermont-Ferrand, France, which is like in the south of France. So if ever you want to see the real one, go to France. But if you just want to have one in your collection, $49.95, and it's yours. All right, pretty cool piece. Thanks. My first selection is actually from First Gear, and we received these Century wreckers with the Peterbilt 367 tractor. It's in 150 scale. This is an all die-cast metal piece, and very, very detailed. I mean, to the point where the cab doors open, you get a fully detailed interior. The hood opens, and you can see it's got a Cummins engine. How do I know it's Cummins? Because the engine is red. If it was yellow, that would have been a Caterpillar. But, you know, the boom is metal, the outriggers come out, you know, the hooks actually, you know, extend out and you can crank them. They have a little key that you crank in order to wind them back up again. And this is called a Rotator wrecker, which can lift up to 60 tons. And Miller itself, who is the manufacturer of the real truck, is the largest tow truck maker in North America. And they produce trucks for Canada, the United States, England, and France.
That is highly detailed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nicely done. It's $109.95, and
does it come in any other colors or just the red and black?
No, we've got red and black. We also have an all black and an all white. So it's been a good seller. Definitely nicely done. First Gear does some good work, and these have been selling great. And probably only about a dozen left in these. So that's my choice. The Peterbilt 367 wrecker. You can find that on our website. All right, Johnny, what else you got?
I have got this. Feast your eyes on this that's coming in now.
Wow.
Look at that. Now this is a 118 scale by Acme, and when I saw this I thought, what in the world have we got here?
Wow, if John says what in the world, that means it's like 9.5 on the chart out of 10.
This piece is stunning. It's a 1970 Dodge 300 ramp truck, and the nice thing about it is it has the ramps that do come out and you can take the chocks off, so you can actually roll your car up. Now what we did to this particular model is we put the decals on the side for the the Dodge service, the 24-hour emergency service, and the Super B.
Super B was on mostly what, Chargers?
Mostly on the Chargers, yes.
Okay.
Now, this is a two-piece set. It also comes with this 1970 Dodge Charger Street Fighter. And this is a very, very highly detailed vehicle, which if you take the hood pins out, you can actually open the hood and it gives a fully detailed engine. You can see the battery and all the plumbing and all the wires and everything.
Nice.
A fully detailed interior, which you can see with the seat belts and the gear shift.
So the fact that it was a Street Fighter, what about this car made it known as the Street Fighter?
Well, it had the front spoiler, it had the rear spoiler, it had the different wheels on it, and it's powered by the 426 Hemi engine.
What does Hemi stand for? Do you know?
Hemi stands for and I did know
He
this.
only practiced it 40 times and he still couldn't get it right. Hemispherical.
Hemispherical.
See, he's got this accent. You think he's really smart. Hemispherical.
And I kept remembering it in the rehearsals, and now it's come to it.
When push comes to shove, he can't remember hemispherical.
Completely forgot it.
But that's okay. Well, you get the idea. That's why we call it Hemi, because that makes it easy. So...
well, everything opens. So you have the trunk that opens, and even underneath, you even have the brake lines.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I've never really seen a model like that, with all the brake lines, and the undercarriage is as well detailed as the rest of the car.
Cool thing is, these two pieces, if you were to buy them individually, would be $270. We've combined them and selling the two-piece set for $249.95. So I think that's very reasonable for a 1/18 scale collection. Certainly you can put any Dodge car of your choice on this truck, or really any other car you want, but we also have these Ram trucks in Chevrolet, and there is also Ford, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. The Chevrolet comes in red. This isn't in the burnt orange, but the Chevrolet comes in red or white, and the Ford comes in the black.
Okay, great. Well, that's a really cool piece. I really like that one. Thanks for showing us that. My selection, actually, no surprise to many of you who know me, has to do with buses, and buses are one of my passions. We just received these articulated buses from New Flyer Industries, and these are in 1/87 scale, all die-cast metal, even bendable in the middle, the articulation point.
I noticed they're slightly different as well.
Yeah, well, these are what's called the XN and XD series. Now, what's the difference? XN would designate it as being compressed natural gas, CNG, and you can tell by the roof it's very flat, because the tanks are inside. These doors open up on the real buses, and there's CNG tanks on the top. And this one for New York City is actually an XD60, which designates it as being diesel. Right. So there's the air conditioning pod on the roof, but otherwise it's got its fuel tanks under the bus like everything else. But this is the paint scheme that New York City used in the early 2000s up until about maybe 5 years ago when they started converting to the all navy blue scheme. And we do have those buses in stock as well. But this is probably the 8th release for New York City that we've done in a whole variety of different buses. But we've also done this one here for the Laker line, which is Grand Rapids, Michigan. And my favorite, and Robin's favorite, Robin's one of our associates here, this is the Lafayette, Indiana Space Bus. And you can see it's got some pretty awesome graphics on it.
Look at that. It's got the spaceman on it.
Yep. So this bus hasn't actually gone to space, and they haven't used it in the space program, but they do like the graphics. So it's the Silver Loop, which is a kind of a limited stop service for the Greater Lafayette public transit system, and that's why we did these great graphics. So that's basically it for this week. We've introduced you to just a few of our new releases.
How much are these buses?
$39.95. Actually, thanks for bringing that up. So reasonably priced, and our extended selection of iconic replicas is growing by the day, with many new releases coming, and hundreds that have already been released. So if you're a bus collector or thinking about it, Iconic Replicas is really doing a great job, if I do say so myself. Which, of course, I do, because I design these and have them built, so I'm partial. But anyways, so that being said, that's it for this week. We would really appreciate if you guys left comments on what we do. Talk about stuff that we like or that you like. And you know what? We're not sugar and spice. Well, actually, I'm more sugary and you're more spicy. Or am I spicy and you're sugary?
No, I think I'm a little more spicy. So do women tell me.
Okay, right. I would think more vinegary, because like vinegar goes better with fish and chips.
Yes, and we English do like fish and chips.
Right. Well, anyways, that being said, if you want to leave negative comments, if you don't like some of our stuff, we're not that sugary and spice where it's going to hurt our feelings. It's all about Diecast and enjoying the hobby. So if you guys contribute, we will certainly be motivated by that. So leave us comments on what you'd like us to review, and even comments about what we did review if you agree or not. So with that being said, you good for this week?
I'm good for this week, Jeff, yes.
Okay, well then, that is all. We will see you next week, and for the love of Diecast, keep collecting. Cheerio!